Hello champions and happy Monday. Today we're going to talk about dividing decimals. Today you'll be able to divide decimals by whole numbers. We're going to start with some mixed review, then we'll do some problems together, then you'll have a chance to practice on IXL. You're going to do a great job, I know it, and so does Mr. Smiles. He's back, let's get started. Which of the following has a 5 worth 10 times as much as the 5 in the number 254 and 671 thousandths? Well, first, in terms of place value, what does 10 times as much mean? 10 times as much means I'm going to increase one place. What place is the 5 in the original number? The 5 in the original number is in the tens place. So I need to increase one place from the tens place. What's one place larger than the tens place? The hundreds place. So which answer choice is correct? C is the correct answer. It has a 5 in the hundreds place. Now you try one. Which of the following has a 5 that is worth 1/10 times as much as the 5 in the number 254 and 671 thousandths? The correct answer here is B. 1/10 times as much means that you need to decrease one place value. The 5 is in the tens place, so when I decrease one place value, it will be in the ones place. The correct answer is B. Drew bought 8 feet of string for a project. He cut the string into pieces that were each 1/3 of a foot. How many pieces could he cut? What's happening in this problem? Am I going to add, subtract, multiply, or divide? This is a division problem. What's being split up? The 8 feet of string is being split up into 1/3 foot pieces. So my division sentence is 8 divided by 1/3. Is the number of pieces that Drew can cut going to be a whole number or a fraction? It's going to be a whole number. It wouldn't make sense to have a fraction of pieces. So how many pieces can Drew cut? When I cut 8 feet into 1/3 of a foot pieces, there are 24 pieces. Let's look at another problem. Aaron, Mina, Brady, and Alex shared 1/3 of a pan of brownies. How much of the pan did each person get? First of all, what kind of problem is this? This is a division problem. What division sentence should I use for this problem? Well, 1/3 of a pan of brownies is being split up, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4 people sharing that pan. So I'm going to divide 1/3 divided by 4. Will each person get a full pan or a fraction of a pan? They'll get a fraction. So I know my answer is going to be a fraction. How much of the pan did each person get? If I take 1/3 and split it into 4 pieces, each person gets 1/12 of the pan of brownies. Let's do another problem. Skylar had 42 marbles. 2/3 of the marbles were green. How many marbles were green? What operation will I use to solve this problem? This is a multiplication problem. I'm finding a fraction of a number. 2/3 of 42. When I multiply 2/3 times 42, what improper fraction do I get? Well, 2 times 42 is 84, and my denominator is 3. Now I need to divide to change that into a whole number. 84 divided by 3. When I start this division, should I start with 8 tens divided by 3 or 84 ones divided by 3? I should start with 8 tens divided by 3. How many times does 3 go into 8? 3 goes into 8 2 times. 2 times 3 is 6. When I subtract, I have 2 left over. What should I do next? I need to bring down my 4 and divide in the ones place. How many times does 3 go into 24? 3 goes into 24 8 times. 8 times 3 is 24, with nothing remaining. So the answer is 28 marbles were green. Now let's multiply some decimals. 0 and 5/10 times 0 and 3/10. When I multiply 0 and 5/10 times 0 and 3/10, how many digits are going to be behind the decimal in my product? Well, 1. 2 numbers will be behind the decimal in my product. Now I can multiply like normal. What's 5 times 3? 5 times 3 is 15. How should I write that answer by correctly placing the decimal? Well, 1. 2 digits need to go behind my decimal because my answer needs to be in the hundredths place. The correct answer is 15 hundredths. Now you try one. What's 6 and 25 hundredths times 9? How many digits needed to go behind the decimal? Well, 1, 2. When I multiply, 9 times 5 is 45. 9 times 2 is 18 plus 4 is 22. And 9 times 6 is 54 plus 2 more is 56. The correct answer was 56 and 25 hundredths. Today we are going to practice dividing decimals by whole numbers. This is just like normal division. We just need to make sure that we keep our place values straight. Let's look at our very first example. I'm going to divide 3 and 2/10 divided by 4. First I need to decide, should I start dividing at 3 ones or at 32 tenths? Well, 4 doesn't go into 3, so I know that I'm going to have a 0 in the ones place. I need to bring my decimal straight up to make sure that my place values stay in the right spot. Now I can divide 32 tenths divided by 4. How many times does 4 go into 32? 4 goes into 32 8 times. 8 times 4 is 32, and when I subtract, I have none left over. So 3 and 2/10 divided by 4 is 8/10. Let's look at another example. 137 and 5/10 divided by 5. I'm going to start by bringing my decimal point straight up so that I can put it in the right place in my answer. Now I can do my division. Should I start dividing at 100, 13 tens, 137 ones, or 1,375 tenths? I'm going to start dividing at 13 hundredths. How many times does 5 go into 13? 5 goes into 13 twice. What's 2 times 5? 2 times 5 is 10. When I subtract, I get 3. Bring down your 7. How many times does 5 go into 37? 5 goes into 37 7 times. 7 times 5 is 35. When I subtract, I have 2 left over. Bring down my 5. Remember, now I'm in the tenths place. How many times does 5 go into 25? 5 goes into 25 5 times. 5 times 5 is 25. And when I subtract, I have nothing left over. So when I divide 137 and 5/10 divided by 5, I get 27 and 5/10. Now you try one. What's 76 and 2/10 divided by 3? Remember to pull your decimal straight up before you start your division. The correct answer is 25 and 4/10. Take a moment to check your work with mine. Now you try another one. What's 2 and 976 thousandths divided by 4? The correct answer is 744 thousandths. Take a moment to check your work with mine. You've done a great job on this video. Record your score, then go to the IXL practice listed on your page.